world. I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, reviews, and answers that you can use like an answer to the question, why was I doing that? Because I stupidly ate some popcorn before streaming TLDR live today. My bad. It won't happen again until tomorrow. I do live streams every weekday. I'm glad you're able to join me. Thank you. This is Monday. Today, the day I'm recording this live. So this is an AMA. I post at this time an open Facebook thread taking your questions, and then I answer them. Since this seems to be one of the things that I think you appreciate most from me, and I appreciate everything that you might be able to give me, especially your time and attention. I appreciate all my nomies, but I really appreciate all my super nomies. They get tons of bonuses, like being able to watch me live. Everybody else, they get to see the stuff eventually, in time. Today, I uploaded 8 separate show and tell videos. Patrons, aka the super nomies, get a preview. Everybody else gets them in time, and they're a lot of fun for me to do. I like the show and tell videos. They're kind of like a bonus daily vlog for people, usually focused on one thing that I find fascinating. Let me go ahead and also thank one of our current sponsors, Citrix, because with Citrix Go to Assist, the #1 global market leader in remote support, is the thing that is keeping us going forward. Sign up today for a 30-day free trial, and if you purchase an annual plan before March 31st, 2015, you'll get a free Samsung Galaxy Tab 4. Wow! Visit gotoassist.com to get started. There you go. You've got about a month. Because over the weekend, it seems that we've already launched into March. That's unbelievable, according to Darth Vader's chest here. March 2nd, today. Or I guess according to the presentation behind me. Wow, February just flew by. Flew by, kind of like a dragon. Nice segue, huh? Check this out. The most awesome virtual reality, augmented reality, whatever reality thing that I've seen in the longest time came from Crayola. I bought this, $5. I'm going to be featuring this in a CPU episode, possibly, or a show and tell. I haven't decided which one yet, but effectively, this is what you do. It's a 4D experience, right? So you color the dragon on any one of these pages, and you can even use the special Fire Breath crayon here. And then as you color whatever's on the page, you hold your iPad or your tablet up to the page, and then it pops up like augmented reality in the colors that you colored the creature. So cool! Like, not just what color it wants it to be. The pad, see how it's colored like yellow and orange there? Well, when the virtual reality or the augmented reality comes up, it's the colors that you designated with these crayons. That is so awesome! So cool! Come on, dude. I dare you to find me a more awesome, more accessible, more fun, I want to say virtual reality. It's not virtual reality. Augmented reality thing out there for affordability. That is affordable. Affordability, right? $5. Come on, dude. I guarantee people out there are going to see this and go, what? I have to have it. That's what I said. I have to have this. So this is likely going to be, I came today, but it's likely going to be the focus of a CPU episode later on this week. Let me go ahead and wish happy birthday to Carlos Araújo. And I don't know if I said your last name correctly. If not, I apologize. Happy birthday anyway. Also, we've got deals going on with Audible.com. If you head over to audible.com/LockerGnome, you get one free audiobook download about dragons or otherwise. I found out today, as a matter of fact, they have the full, I guess it was a radio production from the BBC, the full reading of the Chronicles of Narnia, like all of the books from C.S. Lewis. Kind of neat. One free audiobook download, that might be it for you. I did a collaboration with Kid President that was published today in my classic YouTube channel, where we've also been publishing the CPU episodes as well as the show and tell videos. I also posted my beer review for Santa's Little Helper Imperial Stout. Wow. Stout. I was going to say Stout taste test review, but it came out Stoust, which is exactly what I was at the end of the review. No, that would be soused. That's a word. It really is. Go ahead and look that up in your funkin' wagnalls. Today we published the Q&A, what is the best magazine for geeks and nerds? That's my opinion, of course. We also have the Walter audio video uploader for Mac and iOS at 33% off, a 50-inch LG TV plus soundbar giveaway for free. Deals.lockergnome.com for that. And 72 AA Duracell battery bundle, 48% off. If you're going to buy batteries anyway, and one guy slagged me on Twitter, it's nothing like filling a landfill. Why don't you just buy recyclable batteries? See, I'm in his head. You're complaining about a sale, and you're not even going to partake. So you're complaining about something that you don't want that's going to save other people money. What is up with the mentality of people these days? It's weirdos, man. Weird. That's like me getting upset at you because you eat corn. Which, admittedly, I do. I do not support corn. The eating of. Corn chips, that's different. Corn nuts, different. Popcorn, different as well. Okay, so now that I've showed you a few things, let's go ahead and roll into the AMA. I thought we'd just kind of, get things rolling slowly there. Kind of, not everybody wants an answer. I just wanted to talk about these things. This is what I do in a TLDR. Peter Freese asks, will you ever introduce a musical instrument to Jedi? Yes, that is the hope. I don't know what that's going to be. You might remember the what was it, Jambox? Was that the name of that iPad guitar I reviewed for CPU a while ago? Anything, really, that emits sound that she's able to control. I really want to encourage her to explore with sound, and we'll absolutely give her every possible tool at her disposal, at my disposal, potentially guitar, potentially piano, whatever she is compelled to create with. Even a flatter type of instrument, like a tablet or a phone. I really do hope that she's able to do something with music that I was not able to do. Potentially master a musical instrument, potentially master her voice, because I think it would be fun for her to express herself in that way, a way that I never possibly could. So yes, I plan on introducing potentially several until maybe she finds something that she likes. And if she doesn't, well, maybe a musical instrument's not for Jedi. Jason Hansen asks, who is your favorite hockey player? There's so many of them to pick from. Darth? By the way, a lot of the questions asked in this Facebook thread were answered in Friday's TLDR. The the next question: what color is that dress twending on Twitter? It was twending. I said it was. It said trending. They asked. I said twending. Why don't they call it twending? It's twoo. It's twoo. Okay, so I don't know is the answer. I was stymied. A lot of people saw blue and black. I saw white and gold. I'll be honest. Whether it was white and gold, I couldn't tell from the photo. From the photo, the photo I saw, that's clearly white and gold. And then I saw other photos. I'm like, well, that is clearly black and blue. So to me, the answer to this question is I don't care. That is the color of the dress. That was twending on Twitter. Louis Ferrosero Tejada asks, when are you going to have another YouTube video with Jerry? I'd love to do that. We've been meaning to schedule a Geek Out for quite some time, possibly this weekend. Maybe we can find out if Jerry can do that virtually. Yes, he could come over here and all that, and that I have no problem with that. There's a little more production that's usually involved with that. I've been wanting to get some lights for downstairs. I think I may have finally found something. Soft boxes of sorts to better film down there certain types of videos that I would like to try, not just in this channel, but the classic YouTube channel as well. So it's going to happen. I have a feeling, though, the next collaboration will likely be virtual. Of course, why he'd want to collaborate with me at this point, I don't know. He's big. He's getting bigger and bigger by the day, and I don't mean physically. Jerry's doing very well. I knew he'd do very well, though. I was subscriber 100,000 for Jerry. I feel proud about that, considering he's like now 3 times as large. YouTube subscriber-wise, I guarantee he's going to hit 1 million. Guaranteed. Not even a question in my mind. He is going to hit 1 million. Will I ever hit 1 million? I don't know. It seems that I kind of have to find a different type of community. There are people who only have known me for one thing, and I'm so many things. I like beer. I like toys. I like Star Wars. I like sci-fi. I like entertainment. I like tech. I like a lot of things. I am Chris Pirillo. It's what I do. So it seems that a lot of the people who've been with me for a while have kind of not realized that I'm more than just one thing. So I've got to find those people who see me as more than one thing. And it'll happen eventually, I'm confident. Charlie Mystic Eye Cameron asks, if you had a choice to choose to eat one dish, and one dish only for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh man, I'd get sick. Oh, anything. God, I can't even eat something for a week. Even, I couldn't even say bacon. I couldn't say sushi. I couldn't say any of my favorite foods, because I would just get sick of them. Even steak would get too heavy. One dish. One dish? Okay, fine. I'm going to say bacon. Even though I'm sure like 2 weeks in, I would like gag and explode bacon all over whatever was in front of me. Too much of a good thing is just too much. I'm going to go with bacon. That's a safe bet. I tried the bacon cheeseburger pizza the other day, recorded a show and tell. It's really about that, a review. The results were kind of surprising to me. The Little Caesars bacon wrapped crust pizza, whatever they were calling it. I tried that. That review was already posted. That was good. That is absolutely worth getting. It really was. It was very, very rich. I can taste it in my mouth. My mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. Bacon anything. Elizabeth Bradshaw, a.k.a. Pez Liz, asks, who is your favorite artist? Well, see, that's a trick question. She used the word you in the word favorite. Shame. And you know what she did? This Canadian tease. Where's my phone? Well, here, let me see if I can pull it up here. She sends me this picture the other day of a candy bar that apparently is only available. It's not even a candy bar. It's chocolate bar in the shape of Darth Vader that appears to only be available in Canada. And I'm like, whoa, holy cows, look at that, premium milk chocolate Vader that you can't really see because the screen is too dark because I was doing another video earlier. Well, anyway, that's chocolate in the shape of Darth Vader in Canada. I may actually have to figure out how much it's going to cost to have that, because I want another chocolate Darth Vader. I have one up on the shelf from another Canadian family that's quite supportive. It came as a part of our Christmas haul. What can I say? Everybody has something, and that is my one something. I don't have a favorite artist. So many to choose from. Darth? Next question. Eris Velsula. Eris Velsula asks, how would you explain colors to someone blind? Thank you. I seem to remember the best way that I ever found, or would likely find to explain this, is in now a classic movie. It was a good movie. I wouldn't say one of my favorite movies of all time, but certainly I've enjoyed seeing it over and over. Mask, with Eric Stoltz, who played Rocky Dennis. It starred Cher and oh god, what was his name? He plays a lot of Sam. He's the one that does beef. It's what's for dinner, or at least he used to. Plays a lot of cowboys. You know who I'm talking about. I don't know who I'm talking about, but I know who I'm talking about. I think there was a blind girl, and I think she was played by Laura Dern. And Laura Dern I just saw this weekend as I watched The Fault in Our Stars. I'm not going to do a movie review on that. I don't think anybody cares what I think about that movie. So I think he explained it. And again, if I've got any of these references wrong, I apologize. So he explained it like blue was cold, like cold, he thinks blue cold. So I think he put the girl's hand in like a bucket of ice water, and it was cold, like cold. And that was the way he explained blue. And then hot was something red. And he explained by feel, so he used another sense to better explain the color. And that's exactly how I'd do it. I would do it by touch. I would do it by sound. I would possibly even do it by taste. Try to find more somber type of a treat, a dull type of flavor for a treat to taste. Red might be hot. A spicy type of flavor, not too spicy. And, just think through your other senses. Color is a big deal. So that's how I would probably explain colors to someone blind. And hopefully I addressed that question to your satisfaction. Christy Dolan Sandhoff says, what's your take on Title II? Well, I talked about it, I think, on Friday or Thursday. So, Christy, you've already got your question answered. Kaylin Lovins asks, what do you think about 16 gig devices? I think I would have died to have a 16 gig device back in the day. These days, however, it's not really that much for a device that you might be doing things on. I think really anymore, it's a minimum. Some people would say 32 gig minimum. I say, for the most part, 64 gig or get out. I'm a 64 gig minimum guy anymore. I just don't think that the 16 gig device is going to be around for the foreseeable future, at least for some of the devices out there. Other devices, not so much. I mean, if we're talking about tablets and smartphones and devices that, you're putting things on, taking things off, constantly adding to, you need as much space as you can possibly handle. So it makes a lot of sense to have a lot more gigs available to you on those types of devices versus, like, let's say a standalone device. It's not going to see a lot, it's a lot of internet types of devices, input, output, but nothing for permanent storage. Then 16 gigs would be likely sufficient. I think that's really my take on that particular question. Azrul Arfin, man, your names are why am I doing this? Azrul Arifin asks, call for help? Question mark. This is a question like that's asked every week, and I keep saying, patrons need a hell of a lot more patrons for call for help to be rebooted. Adam Horn asks, how do you feel about today's FCC ruling on net neutrality? Again, talked about it last week. Go ahead and watch that. Omar Castellanos, what are your top 3 YouTubers that you trust when you look for reviews or opinions? On what? It just kind of depends on what kind of opinions I'm looking for. Because, there's no one person who's got everything. I don't even know if I trust me for a lot of opinions. I mean, I trust me and everything, but like, for example, if I do a review of a beer, which I've done and I keep doing, I like doing that, it's kind of fun. My palate's different from yours. Completely different. So for me to give a review, thumbs up, and you taste the beer and say, that was horrible. Chris, what were you thinking? I can't trust you. So many reviews are so subjective. It's not even about being biased. Oh yeah, my taste buds are so freaking biased. It's just a matter of perspective. So A, it depends on what kind of information I'm looking for, what kind of opinion I'm looking for, and B, knowing whether or not someone's going to be able to give me a qualified opinion. It's not as easy as that. So unfortunately, there is absolutely no answer to your question at all. It's just too deep. It's too involved. I don't even know if I could identify the top 3 YouTubers of any genre out there. So many people that have so much knowledge and are quite trustworthy. And again, let me try to, I'm not exactly sidetracking here or backtracking, but I trust myself. I know you can trust me, but what I'm saying is that when I'm giving you my experience, that's just, it's tainted. Just like your experience taints everything. Everybody's experience taints everything. Everybody's biased. To accuse someone of being biased is like accusing them of being a human being. So that's what I was saying. You don't ever take my word for it absolutely outright, because it's just my perspective. And in many cases, reviews, even with empirical data, may have some amount of bleed over of opinion in there. And, that's just not going to do you any favors. So I don't know if I can answer that question better than how I did my best to address it there. Diego Camino Deladon asks, what is your favorite line of Star Wars action figures? Vintage from 70s, Power of the Force or POTF, Saga Trilogy Vintage Collection 2010, or Black Series? Honestly, the Black Series has kind of been underwhelming. I've enjoyed the Black Series, not just the 6-inch figures. Let me go ahead and grab a couple of these just for example. The Black Series 6-inch figures have been, I would say, quite interesting for me because I have enjoyed them, if only because we've never seen that many points of articulation, within any of the Star Wars action figure line, as well as, a 6-inch figure. I'm trying to find, where's the other Black Series? It's here somewhere. Has anybody seen it? I had it here somewhere. Give me a second. I know I will find it in just a moment. This is the dangers of doing things live and not knowing which questions you're going to ask. I've got a Black Series Vader that was just sent to me last week, and I talked about it. And I want to pull it out to better demonstrate it. Here we go. Okay, found it. This is what I wanted to pull, just to better explain this Black Series classic figure. Several points of articulation on these figures, but this is like, it's more like the classic 3¼ inch or 3¾ inch Star Wars figure line. So I have an affinity for these, but I also like or appreciate the 6-inch figure line. I don't know if anybody beyond collectors is going to be interested in the 6-inch figures. I don't plan on collecting a lot of 6-inch figures, just like I don't plan on collecting too many of the classic 3¾ inch figures. Of course, Darth Vader is a given. I did make an exception to the rule with this figure. When I see a figure that I think is just so amazingly designed, just breathtaking in terms of sculpt, in terms of design, if I see something that just leaps out at me, that's the figure I would want to get. And I just got this one. Unboxed it for a show and tell video, the Jedi Temple Guard. I just thought that the way this character looks, let's see if I can get it in focus. Sorry, my face is pulling him out of focus. Is that better for you? There we go, I think. The Jedi Temple Guard. I had to get it. I had to. So I don't know if I have a favorite line. There's always going to be a place in my heart for the classic figures. I appreciate, if there's any line that I appreciate most, it is the ones with the highest points of articulation without necessarily sacrificing quality. There's been an issue with certain figures with high points of articulation where, well, one of the Vader, not this one in particular, his head would pop off. You might have remembered that from the vlog. Loose limbs, I mean, really sloppy production value. So there's something to be said about lower points of articulation, but of course not as high playability, but still, that is a beautifully designed action figure there. I don't know. I don't have an answer to the question. There's so many figures. It's like asking me my favorite. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have an answer. I love all of them. Darth. That's become my new generic answer, certainly for today. Next question. Red Martinson. If you lived in a world where Star Wars didn't exist and you had no knowledge about it, what would your top fandom be? Boy, that's hard. I got into Garbage Pail Kids, but that's definitely a fandom. Without Star Wars, boy, there wasn't much else. I'd even say Star Trek, but Star Trek's completely different from Star Wars altogether. Doctor Who really wasn't as exciting for me when I was a kid. God, that's a really good question. I don't know. I'd probably have several smaller fandoms without any dominant fandom. That would likely be my answer. That's my answer. Possibly Disney characters in general. I grew up with Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse comic books. I always liked Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck. I always liked Scrooge McDuck because man, he's got a ton of money. I'd like to be able to swim in money someday. I'm still dreaming. So there we go. I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer Disney stuff in general, but probably because I liked that as a kid. I'd probably say a lot of classic Disney characters in general. That'd be my fandom. Thread Lamont asks, with the Apple event confirmed for March 9th, and by the way, we are live streaming that announcement here in this channel, live for everybody. That'll be the day's TLDR. That day, I don't know if it may actually be supplanting the Q&A and the CPU behind the scenes as well, because it's going to be a long broadcast. March 9th, next Monday, a week from today. What else besides the Apple Watch do you want to potentially see? Also, do you think that having actual apps on the Apple Watch is kind of a bad idea? Shouldn't a smartwatch be about lightweight interaction? So, what else besides the Apple Watch do I want to see? They just today announced the public beta for 10.10.3 with full-on Photos app. Again, all in beta, public beta. That's kind of exciting. I would like to hear about some upcoming minor software revisions. I don't expect to hear anything about OS 10 or iOS in general until WWDC. I don't know. Honestly, having a watch event outright, it's fine by me. I'm not hoping for much else. Having actual apps on the Apple Watch is kind of a bad idea. Do I think that? I don't know. I haven't had a wealth of experience with smartwatches to this point. So I can't say yes or no one way or the other. I think that if well executed and warranted, it's fine. Could it be overkill? Possibly. I I think it'll be interesting to see how I fit it into my workflow, how I'm able to use it on top of the iOS devices that I might currently already have. It'll be interesting to find out. I'm certainly not looking for a duplicate screen. I'm looking for an experience where if my phone's across the desk and the iPad's closed, that I get a buzz or a notification like, oh, that's what it is. Cool. I didn't have to rush to get my phone, which might be charging. The watch I'm expecting. This is my really, really super not Apple Watchy Apple Watch there. As I said in recent videos, I am planning on getting an Apple Watch at some point, possibly even on launch day. And maybe that's the thing I'm hoping for. Maybe I'm hoping they'll say, yes, and it's available for order tonight at midnight or whatever it happens to be. Jacob Biddle asks, is it worth the $99 a year to join the Apple Developer Program? If you have an iOS app, yes. Or a Mac app, yes. Otherwise, no. Not so much. A lot of the value might have been getting access to betas ahead of time, but now Apple's opened it up to everybody, the public betas, so there's no point in spending $99 a year, which at one point I did, just specifically to get a hold of the Gold Master edition of, was it Yosemite? Possibly Yosemite going back all the way back to Mountain Lion, just to try it ahead of time, the final version of it. So at this point, though, I don't think it would be worth it. I have a $99 iOS app developer license, if only because of the free LockerGnome app, which should be rebooting at some point in the very near future on a different platform for iOS and Android. Roger Iyengar asks, how do you know Michael Dell? How do you know I know Michael Dell? Brian D. Roberts, are we friends yet? No, Brian. I know two Brian Roberts, and I know one Brian Roberts is an amazing guy, and you are probably that Brian Roberts. Can you believe it? I know two Brian Roberts. What are the odds? Probably good. I don't know. Brian, possibly common. I don't know if it's as common as Chris. Roberts, a more common last name than Pirillo, I assume. Jason Lee Martin asks, what color dress do you see? This was a popular thing. I already answered that question. Sarah Logan asks, favorite phone you've ever owned? Here's what I'm going to answer. The phone that I own right now. And if you ask me a year from now, I'm going to say the phone that I own right now, which is likely going to be a different phone. If you ask me 10 years from now, I'm probably going to say the phone that I own right now. It's always going to change. If you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said the phone that I own right now. It's really... I know it's a weird answer, but there was never that end-all be-all. Remember, technology is not one of those things that just freezes. Imagine if Apple didn't improve anything past their current array of anything. No one would want to upgrade. No one, you'd be with that forever. Technology doesn't work that way. Locking myself into that, bad idea. Bad idea. Imagine 20 years from now, you'll be prying the iPhone 6 out of my cold dead hand. The best phone of all time. No, it's going to be the iPhone 26. I don't know what it's going to be. It's always going to be the phone that I'm currently using. That is my favorite phone. Always, always, always. Jordan Bandelier, white and gold or blue and black? Darth. Frederick Vasquez asks, what do you think about 4K TV monitors? I've answered this question before. But it's been a while. I think they're amazing. I think they're awesome. I don't yet really have any 4K content that I want to watch. There's not a lot of 4K content out there. At some point, yes, possibly. But right now, I'm okay with the TVs that I have. I'm not in any rush to upgrade. Like the moment I could get a bigger TV compared to what I have, which I've got a range of 42 to 50-inch TVs. And some of them are like a decade old. I mean, that's... Yeah, about a decade old. Wow, it's been a long time. So some of them are only capable of broadcasting or displaying 720p content. And I'm fine with that, for the most part. I'm okay with it. 1080p content would be better. 4K content would be even better than that. But, I don't know. I think in another 10 years, yeah, 4K everywhere. My monitor here, 4K. I absolutely see it here. On the TV, not so much. With what I watch and how I choose to watch it. But I'm going to wait until TVs get even flatter, bigger, more energy efficient, more affordable, and then I upgrade. When it's a huge leap forward, then I'll upgrade. Right now, it'd be too expensive, and I don't know if I'd see the difference. Jennifer Ann Constanti Jennifer Ann asks, is the dress really white and gold? Oh my god, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is what everybody was fixated on when we opened the thread the other day. Allison Simmons asks, one of the hardest things you ever had to go through, and how did you deal with it? You seem to handle stress well. Love the vlogs. Baby Jedi is so cute. So, I've handled, God, I can't even talk. Handled a lot of things as best I could. And the hardest things that I've ever experienced in my life, you'll never know about. Because I'll never tell you. I'll never talk about it. I've experienced some things that I never thought I'd go through, that I wouldn't wish on anybody. And you deal with it a day at a time. You deal with it and recognize that, well, the problems that I had, they weren't my fault. So I dealt with it by understanding and accommodating. What I'm going through right now is not my fault. It's not my fault. I cannot take responsibility for what's happening. I can only address it. And so that helped me get over some of the tough things that I've been through, knowing that it wasn't my fault. So that's the answer to the question. I don't talk about it a lot either when I'm feeling stressed out. It'll happen. You'll generally know I wear my heart on my sleeve usually when it comes to that kind of thing. And thank you for saying that our daughter is cute. I agree. Dean Bailey. Okay, we've crossed the 30-minute threshold. I've got a few other questions in the list. I'm going to scour them and potentially answer them in dedicated videos. Is asking the question, black and blue or white and gold. Now, as I'm holding this image up to you right now on that screen, it looks black and blue. To my eyes on this screen, it looks white and gold. Black and blue to you, white and gold to me. How is that possible? Science. So now you have the answer to the question. I don't care about the dress. And Darth. It's a universal answer there. Thank you for asking questions. Hopefully you got a little bit of knowledge. And I'm only as good sometimes as the questions you ask. So thank you for continuing to ask questions. I do appreciate your support. All my nomies out there, all my super nomies, thank you for your time and attention. I love you. I appreciate you, but at this point, I got to roll into the patron hangout. I do it every weekday, answer even more questions, talk, show people behind the scenes with the LockerGnome crew and what's going on. It's something that everybody's invited to. All you got to do is become one of the super nomies. It's just yet another bonus. Thank you for your support. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.